everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So in our last video we made this really lovely journal cover. I'm so happy with it. And I've decided to pop together my papers today for the inside. It'll be a single signature, and I have collected lots of papers here, all different tea stained papers, and I also have, and I didn't think to check and see where I put them. I have my papers from AntiquePaperie here, so I'll quickly go through and show you those papers. So I have the Lush Greenery paper set, the Lush Renoir Chic set, the Swiss Dot 1 backgrounds, and the Love Paris collection backgrounds. So these are the Lush Greenery papers, and I've printed these 2 to a page. They are on matte photo paper, and as you see, printing them 2 to a page, they haven't quite covered the outside. Now I'm not sure whether I'll have to cut any off. I don't think I will. So I'm going to see if I can come up with some ways to still make this work as a double page A5 spread, even though it has the white border around the outside. So I'm hopeful that will work. My papers at the back, my background papers, go all the way to the edge. So it's only the front that I have to worry about that with, and fingers crossed this works. I haven't tried this before, so I'm a bit excited to give it a go. So the background on this page is from the Swiss Dot 1 collection, and I really loved that paper. I love the neutral tone of it, and I thought it worked really well with these papers. So this is the Lush Greenery papers. Again, the double page spread. I've printed 2 to a page. And on the back, I have a paper from, I believe it's the Love Paris collection backgrounds. Lush Greenery papers, again with 2 to a page. And then the Love Paris background collection, all from AntiquePaperie. Just love the way they all mesh together. And this kit here is the Lush Renoir Chic, and I've printed again 2 to a page. And as you can see, I thought they worked really beautifully together. Very similar, but these ones have a border. Obviously the detail is different, but I just thought they were meant to be together in a journal. And then on the back, and I believe this is from the Love Paris collection, background papers. And this again is the Lush Renoir Chic. Now these papers, there's only 3 papers in the set, so I have actually chosen this page, and I've printed it twice, once on this double page spread and once on this double page spread, to give me the 2 double page spreads to use. I'm not quite sure how I'll use them yet, but giving myself choices. So this again from the Lush Renoir Chic paper set, and again with the Love Paris backgrounds collection on the back. And then I have printed the same papers in different sizes. So this has been printed 3 to a page. This is the Lush Renoir Chic, and again there are only 3 papers in that set, so hence the fact I have a spare spot at the bottom. And these are all just printed onto photocopy paper. And then I have printed them 2 to a page as well. And again, I have some blank paper here. And then I've printed them full size. Oh my gosh, they're just so beautiful. And then this is the Lush Greenery papers. I don't know if you've ever seen this. This one went through the printer and it must have got a bit caught up. And it's actually printed the image almost perfectly on the front. And if I turn that over, I'm not sure if that's like a stamped image, but I was really surprised to see that it printed on this side, but it didn't look like it hadn't printed on this side. So that made me giggle. I thought I'd share that. My printer has magic powers. Okay, so the Lush Greenery papers, I've printed 4 to a page for this print. And again, 4 to a page, hence I have the space at the bottom. And then I've printed them 2 to a page, so similar to my original prints that I showed you on the matte photo paper, but I've done these on copy paper. I do enjoy printing my kits at different sizes, and I mean, obviously you don't have to. It just gives me extra choices as to different ways I can use them. And I find if I have leftovers, I can always use those leftovers in collage papers and things like that. So, and this is the full page of the Lush Greenery papers. Just gorgeous. I love that natural theme with the leaves, and it takes me to woodlands and neutral tones, and I'm thinking that may be a little bit of a theme in this journal. That's kind of where I'm steering towards. These are the Love Paris collection backgrounds, and again printed 4 to a page, and then I've printed them 2 to a page. And we have some full sheets of those as well. And the Swiss Dot background paper. Now, I've only used one of these in my actual cover papers, so I'm not sure if I will just stick to using that one, but I did print the others in that set that were this style. There are other papers in that set that I haven't actually printed because I didn't necessarily want them in this journal. They just didn't work for me. So, but they are beautiful papers in their own right. Okay, so all that being said, I need to work out how I am putting these together. So I have my cover papers here, and when I say cover papers, it's simply that they've been printed onto the matte photo paper, which is a little heavier than the paper. And just going to find my center. And I had a funny feeling it was out on this board. And I hadn't even folded it to know whereabouts the placement would be once it was folded until right now. So I'm noticing it's not actually centered on the page, which I thought it may be, but that's not the case. So I thought this would be more center and have a similar white space on either edge. Either way, I'm sure I can make it work. I just need to think outside the square a little bit. So Again, not sure I'll use all of these, but giving myself lots of options. I want this to be quite chunky. Okay, now, I'm not sure if I want that again. I need to choose a front. This is harder than I thought. Okay. Thinking this one actually. So this one and then this one. This one. This one and then this one. Now I don't know if I'm going to keep all of these in here. But I really love those papers together, so I wanted to incorporate them into the one journal. And I think it's fun to sometimes be able to what am I trying to say? I think it's fun to be able to join kits together. So selecting colours or themes or patterns, or there's lots of different ways that you can incorporate more than one kit, and I think it's a really fun way to add more interest, or lots of interest, not more interest but lots of interest to a journal. I tend to do it a lot. I don't do it intentionally. I don't know, I guess I enjoy matching papers or combining papers and colours and patterns, and I didn't even realise I was doing it until I worked on my last journal, and I was like, oh, yet again I have chosen more than one kit and I have combined them both into a journal. Okay, so I have, oh, I may have to get a different one of these. That paper is very torn across. Actually, maybe I will see if I can make that work. See if I can add something across the top to just reinforce that paper a little bit. So these two papers are oven dried, and then I have a couple of air dried papers. I was going to use my scoreboard to score these, but I think I'm just going to fold them. Oops. So I'm just doing a combination of different papers in this journal. I wanted it to be different to other journals that I've created, and usually in my other journals I've had my cover papers and then I've had tea stain papers in various, didn't fold very straight. Maybe I should have scored it after. I don't think my paper is straight actually, but looking at that. I wanted to have some variety in papers in this one. So I have here a double page book page spread. I have an open envelope that I thought I may include. I just want to see if I can burnish out that crease a little bit. Okay, so that's good to go. I have a page out of a Reader's Digest. I think it's a gardening book that I've tea stained. This is a page out of an encyclopedia that I actually pulled the binding off the encyclopedia. Again, this is torn, so I may have to come up with some sort of reinforcement. I may even cut it down in size, although I did really like that. I may see if I have a different one of those. This is out of, I believe this was an encyclopedia, but it's the index of the encyclopedia. So again, I pulled the cover and binding away. I believe it had big staples, or no, this one actually was sewn in. So I had to cut the sewing and lift the pages off that way. And it's given me a double page spread. So, and it's taken the tea stain really, really well. This one is more of a paper, whereas this one has a little bit more of a shine. But again, it's taken the tea stain okay. So this page, I think, is just out of a little, I don't even know what it was. I think it was a notebook of some description. I have some music paper, which I'm going to fold in half. And then I have a double page encyclopedia spread. And a different type of double page encyclopedia. That would be a diary spread. And I'm not sure, but I may cut off the date across the top, I'm thinking, because I don't feel like it's really needed. I have a notebook page just out of, I think it's an exercise book. I haven't folded all of these because I'm not exactly sure how I want to incorporate them into my signature yet. Helps if you fold it straight. Again, some graph paper, which is a double page spread. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. And I do have some more tea stain papers here. And I also have a double page eco dye print. Some of the print didn't come out very well, particularly in the middle, but I still love the colours. And I really love this image here. Unfortunately, it will have to be cut down, so I'm thinking I may scan this one before I actually cut it. Really love the wear and tear that eco dyeing the paper has caused around the outside as well. So there is that. And then I just have a couple of smaller book pages and some more tea stain paper. So I'm going to pop this away. And I'm going to get my paper trimmer. Okay. going to check and see how much room I have to play with. Oh, in true me fashion, I have no room. Just want to see how that's sitting. Pretty good. Okay, I think I'm just going to take off this bottom section. Love that. And I would like some tea stain paper, I'm thinking. Perhaps a light tea stain paper. And then I'm going to have this sheet. No, not yet. Maybe tea stain paper there. Oh, isn't that pretty together? Oh, I kind of want to keep those together. Okay, so like that. Need to move that out of the way. I think I might pop this in here. Just tracing where I'd like to cut. have this piece of, and I think I'd like it to go that way. Did have another piece stick to it when it was tea stained, so just tearing off that tiny imperfection. How am I going? I'll leave that there. Really like that edge across the top, so I think I'm going to take a strip off the bottom, roughly about there. Oh, that's pretty together. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. More tea stain paper. Like that a little shorter. Perfect. May have to reinforce this. This is very fragile here, but I'm thinking I might leave that tucked up like that. Okay, I'll play with that a little bit later. Okay, so I'm actually going to cut down here. Which takes off all of my dates. And fabulous. I'm going to cut, as you can see, it's a very precise measuring here. Going to cut the bottom off, and that just leaves me some fabulous lined paper for this page. These actually split into sections. I can cover that with something. Love that. Okay. And thinking I might pop this piece back in. This is a really lovely, quite thick paper, not cardboard thickness by any means, but just a really lovely feel to it. Oh yes, I do know how to fill up a journal. So that is incredibly chunky. I may want to take a fraction off the top of that, I think. Sorry if I'm not on camera. Oops. Very chunky. Okay, I haven't yet decided whether to cut those papers down to even them up. I may wish to do some of them, so I may revisit that at a later stage, but that is the basis of the inside of my journal. I have a diary page left that I didn't use. I have a few scraps there. I have some book papers that didn't get included. I have one piece of tea stain paper and my eco print, which I'm not actually sure I can make fit because it's already quite chunky, and that eco print is on a watercolor paper, so it's quite thick as well, but I'll see how I go. My graph paper was inside out. I could tell by the way the holes were punched. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 pages. I also wish to add a doily, but I like how that feels. It's chunky, but it's not over the top. It actually feels quite flat still, so we'll see. I'll have a think about my eco print and I will get a doily and pop that in, but I really love that. Actually, I did want to have a look. I might pop a tea stain paper in there, I'm thinking. Yes. Oh, I love that. It's so pretty. Okay. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I think I may have to trim some of these papers, which means that my folding may need to be readjusted. I'll look at that perhaps off camera. So thank you so much for joining me while I put this together. I look forward to start decorating and seeing it all come together. I hope you've enjoyed it too. I look forward to seeing you soon, everybody. Happy crafting. Bye for now.